Welcome, everybody, to the NFL Presidential Address. It is week 8. It is a privilege to do this show for you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for all the comments you make on the show. I mean, there's 8,000 people a week watching this. It means the world to me. I know there's a lot of options out there. So thanks for staying with us. If you've never watched the NFL Presidential Address, this is how it's going down. I basically look at every single game on the board for week 8. I'll give out my sides, my totals. There'll be some passing along the way. At the end of the show, I give out my 3 best bets as well. Meghan Payton will be joining us around the 20-minute mark, and she'll have some prop bets to give out as well. Well, let's recap last week. Had a great Sunday for my clients. Went 6-3, and then totally screwed it up on Monday. I was on the under in the Patriots game and under in Montgomery yards. So I ended up 6-5 on the week for my clients. Still made a little bit of a profit. My show best bets this year are not as good as last year, to say the least. 1-2, and my show bets and leans were 3-6. My total record is up on the screen for you guys. I'm proud of it. Still 36-30 for my clients. I'm up about 5% ROI. Not as good as I would like, but we've had a decent start, and we're just going to keep on winning. Anybody buying my client plays, by the way, you get full access to all this information in written form, plus more, as well as my circa picks, any teasers or prop bets I'm making, et cetera, et cetera. So it's definitely worth looking into my all access NFL package. Well, we look at the Thursday night game, Tampa Bay +1 against Baltimore. The total in this game is 45.5. And guys, I will be in play on this game. Plus, last week we didn't have this video up until Friday, so no reason to really get into this game too much. The Sunday card, Denver, they were +4. Now they are +2.5 against Jacksonville. The total in this game, 39.5. And I'm just going to say this right now. I am officially not betting any more games that the Broncos are involved in. I just can't get it right. Like, I got a client record of 36-30. You take out the Bronco games, it's like 36-25. I have read this team wrong from start to finish, and I am moving away from them. With that said, how do we bet this game if we were going to bet it? And I know it's in London, and I'm sorry for all you Englanders that you have to put up with such a crapper, but this game is underwritten all over it. Denver is 1-6 to the under, and they just cannot score. They are dead last in the league. They are averaging 14.3 points per game. I don't know how it gets worse than that. Jacksonville is 4-3 to the over, but with that said, they only put up 17 points against the Giants. They put up 6 points against Houston. This team is averaging, their defense, though, not bad, holding teams to 16.4 points per game. I see a 17-13 type score here, guys, and that gives us still 9 points to spare. My lean on this game is Denver and Jacksonville under the total of 39.5. Now we look at Chicago going into Dallas. It was +10.5, and then Chicago laid the smackdown on Monday night. Now they're down to 9.5 with a total of 42.5. I'm going to bottom line this, guys. I can't bet the Bears. They are not the team we saw Monday. Frankly, I think they stink. I think Fields sucks. Tochas. And Dallas, they're just going to continue to get better as Dak continues to progress. This game is an outright pass for me. However, hey, if you want to throw Dallas into a 10-point teaser, they're winning this game, guys. So's Buffalo, and so is Philadelphia. So, hey, throw Dallas, Philly, and Buffalo into a 3-team 10-pointer, and I would encourage that. Now we move on to the Las Vegas Raiders -2 against New Orleans. Total in this game, 49.5. It has been bet up. I was very bullish on the Raiders last week and released them to my clients. Yeah, it was a sweat, but we got there, and we're going to get there again this week. New Orleans is a mess. Regardless of who their QB is, their coach stinks. Their D has taken a major step back. And when I say a major step back, I mean they've literally fallen off the staircase Guess who the second worst D in football is for points allowed? New Orleans. WTF. How did this happen? New Orleans is 23rd in stopping the run. Look at what Jacobs did to Houston last week. I look at this game and I see a 2-4 Raiders team that is so much better than their record. They should be 4-2. They even should have beaten KC on the road. They're one of the best 2-4 teams we have seen in a while. When I look at New Orleans, I just see crap. A team that equals their 2-5 record. The Raiders have to win games, period. They are behind the 8 ball to make the playoffs, and they're going to have to go on a big run. I'm only getting 2 points in this game. I'm taking them. Las Vegas minus the 2. Now we turn our attention to Carolina versus Atlanta. We find Carolina it was +6, but there's a lot of money coming in on them. It's down to +4.5. The total has gone from 42 to 41.5. And let's take this game apart. From a side perspective, I have nothing. I cannot lay with the Falcons, and I cannot take the Panthers if it's less than a TD. Both teams play in the weakest division in the NFC, and a win from either could put them in a position to make a second half run for the division. This is actually an important game. So when the stakes are high and the teams are mediocre, what do? Well, we look to do what the team does best: play defense and run conservative offenses. I'm not suggesting that either team is a great D, but both teams have a better D than they have an offense. The Panthers' last 4 games offensively, 21, 10, 15, 16. That's bear-like brutal. As for the Falcons, 17, 28, and 15 in their last 3, and the 28 was due to turnovers. The Falcons' last 4 games, passing yards-wise. Listen to this. The Falcons in their last 4 games passing the ball, 107, 121, 110, 131. There are teams that do those numbers in a quarter. They are playing super conservatively right now. How is this number not 39.5? Oh my God. Head to head, they've gone under 3 of their last 4, 7 of their last 10. We are going with Carolina, Atlanta under the total. Now we look at Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia. Philly's second half woes are not a good thing when laying 11 points, that's for sure. And Pitt needs about 20 before I bet on them. This game is an outright pass. When you look at Miami and Detroit, it's going to be a very similar result. I think we see a lot of money coming in on Miami this week, and I'm not going to be one of those guys. We have seen 2 brutal performances by Detroit, 2 games in a row, but don't forget, over the last 1.5 years, this Lions team is an ATS covering machine. Now they're at home on turf and getting what will end up being likely more than a field goal. I want to take Detroit. I can't. Sorry, guys. This is another pass for me. Now we turn our attention to Arizona going into Minnesota. The line here is Arizona +3.5. The total of this game, 49, and I like the over. Although Arizona has started terribly, especially offensively, this team is still averaging 22 points a game. Minnesota's averaging 23 points a game. And although that only adds up to 45, they have played way better defenses than they're going to be playing against each other on Sunday. Arizona's defense just brutal. They're allowing 25 plus points per game. They have the 8th worst pass defense in all of football, and we know what Minnie can do in the air. Minnesota, conversely, has the 5th worst pass defense in all of football, and now with Hopkins back, I expect Arizona to be very pass heavy. This game is indoors. There are many big-time playmakers on both teams, very few big-time defensive playmakers, both with crappy secondaries, and this line is less than 51. We're taking the over. Now we turn our attention to New England against the Jets. New England is -1.5. The total in this game is 40.5. Look, bottom line here, guys, I really want to bet the Jets here. For 20 years, the Pats have beat up on everyone in this division, and now it's payback. These teams don't forget, and although I don't buy into the revenge angle, I have to believe that Miami, Buffalo, and the Jets want to beat the crap out of the Patriots and all the time. With that said, Why did the Patriots have to go lose this game on Monday night? Man, I had the Jets circled here. I thought the spot was going to be incredible for the Jets, but how the hell can you bet against Belichick off of a loss? That's just plain stupid. I lean on the Jets. I like the Jets. I will not personally be betting this game. New York Giants, surprise team. Going into Seattle, another surprise team. The Giants are +3. The total in this game, 45. So many guys like Jacksonville last week, and it kept me off of the New York Giants, and I've been pissed off ever since. I so badly want to bet the Giants here, but I can't, man. I can't lay with Seattle either. I can't take the under 45.5 in a Seattle game. I can't take the over 45.5 in a Giants game. I'm sorry again, guys, but this one is a pass. As for Washington and Indianapolis, it's a pass again. To the quarterbacks, who knows what Ellinger's going to do? Heineke's inconsistent. I don't have a full handle on how this game is going to go down, so it's a pass. Now we look at the San Francisco 49ers, -1.5 against the Rams, coming off of a bye. 43.5 is the total. Guys, something is wrong in San Francisco, but guess what? Something is wrong in LA as well. I do know that the Rams have very few wide receiver options right now, and their O-line is a mess. I will make this quick. I have two teams that I feel are very close. One is coming off of a bye, one is playing at home, and one is the dog. And the Rams are all three of those teams. I like the Rams here, guys, plus the points at home against San Fran. Now we move our attention to the Sunday night game, Green Bay +11.5 versus Buffalo. 47.5 is the total. The biggest takeaway from listening to Aaron Rodgers in his presser this past weekend was how he thinks it is a good idea for Green Bay to go into Buffalo and get exposed, as he says. Does that sound like a guy who's leading his team into wins? Nope. Does that sound like a guy who would rather see his team lose so that he could shove it up management's ass? Yes. For however great Aaron is, he is a stone-cold loser, a sucky, whiny, prideful, stupid man who thinks he's all that. Well, you're not, Aaron, and you're not even aging well. I used to love this guy. Now I can't stand him, but that is not factored into my bets here. I can't stand Cleveland, and I bet them all the time. What do I do with this game? I have to look at the over, guys. We know Buffalo's going to get their points. Let's say 28-35. And that means Green Bay is going to have to keep up. Now, I know Green Bay has struggled to score. I get it. But, man, I got to believe Green Bay can put something up here. They will try to run the ball and slow the game down. It won't work. I can't bet -11. I refuse to bet Aaron Rodgers. But I think we do see a 31-24 type game. I like over the total. As for the Monday Night Football game, I'll be in play on that, so we won't be discussing it on the show. That's it. The entire board, top to bottom. Meghan Payton, excited to have you. The microphone is yours.
Thank you very much, Prez. I'm going to stick in Thursday Night Football for my props this week. It's Bucks, it's Ravens. It's a highly anticipated game for all of the drama that has been going on for the Bucks and Tom Brady. Let's stick with the Ravens first, though. My first player prop is running back Gus Edwards anytime touchdown. Edwards is an impact player. He's a great story coming off that ACL injury, missing all of 2021. Last week, he looked good as new, 16 carries, 66 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. I don't expect that to slow down this week against the Bucks. The Bucks run defense not looking like it did last year under Todd Bowles. This Bucks team is struggling, and Gus Edwards is going to come out strong. He's also going to be that number 1 running back now that J.K. Dobbins is on IR. And what do we know about Edwards? He's a goal line player. He's not going to be involved much in the pass game. The Ravens are going to use him on that 1-yard line, 2-yard line. Expect at least 1 touchdown from running back Gus Edwards. Number 2, let's stick with the Ravens again. We're going to take over 60.5 rushing yards for Lamar Jackson. Jackson's averaging 70 rushing yards per game. He's going up against a Bucs defense that, again, is still not elite. I like the Ravens to just run all over Tampa. They are still just average in run defense. Lamar Jackson is a player that can hurt good defenses. So the Bucs right now, not looking like that. Not to mention Marcus Mariota rushed for 60 yards in week 5 against the Bucs. I'd have to say that Lamar Jackson's a bit better of a runner than Marcus Mariota. Take over 60.5 rushing yards for quarterback Lamar Jackson. And number 3, we do have to do something with the Buccaneers offense here. And call me ignorant, call me crazy, but I'm not going to completely give up faith in Tom Brady. He is the GOAT. So we're going to take over 281.5 passing yards for TB12. As much as I think about this offense and how much they're struggling, I think about Brady. What do we know about him? When he's angry, he does well. He does great in the playoffs. He does great with pressure. And I don't think Tom Brady's ever been as angry as he is right now in his career. And look, even though the Bucs offense isn't putting up points, they're still 6th in passing yards per game. Tom Brady has had over 200 passing yards in 6 of 7 games this season. 3 games this year, it has hit over 281 yards. Expect this to be a high offensive game. Expect Brady to come back a bit. Let's take over 281.5 passing yards for Brady. Take anytime touchdown for Gus Edwards and take over 60.5 rushing yards for Lamar Jackson. That's what I've got for you for Thursday Night Football. Let's see a better week out of the GOAT, Tom Brady. Prez, thank you very much.
Thank you, Meghan Payton. Awesome to have you. Great stuff. Guys, I actually forgot to talk about the Tennessee-Houston game, and it's time for our best bet section, and I'm just going to get right into it. One of the best bets for the show is Tennessee -2. I don't understand this line at all. Tennessee and Houston are 2 points? How is this not 4.5, 5, 6.5? This Tennessee team is getting zero respect. They got no respect coming into the season. They still are getting no respect. They are going to run the ball down Houston's throat. I do not see how this game will be close. One of my show best bets, Tennessee -2. I also like Denver under 39.5, and I like the Rams +1.5. That's it for the show. Guys, don't sleep on my NHL. I've started the season 9-4. My baseball playoffs have been incredible. There's a site-wide promo going on. The promo code is BOO31. That's BOO31. You get 31% off anybody's package up until October 31st. It's a Halloween promotion. Please take advantage of that. Other than that, that is the show for week 8. We'll see you next Wednesday. I'm the Prez. Namaste.